Aloha Hawaii, this is Pokalai Nui and you are listening to Hawaiian Potpourri. Today is the first day of September in the year 2012. We had been talking about three issues in the earlier half hour: Iran, Israel, and the IAEA. The second is Citizens United and the need to end the abuse in campaign financing. And the third is a CIA torture cases about Eric Holder dropping those cases and calling everything to an end. The earlier caller in this in the earlier program had mentioned that there was this actor who played with the empty seat, pretending Barack Obama was sitting there. And if I recall right, it was Clint Eastwood doing the acting. I thought it was somewhat shameful from the portion of the clip that I had seen for the manner in which the affair was conducted. But anyway, that's just my opinion. If you would like to call and share your opinion, our telephone number here is 524-1080. I noticed that a caller had called but had just hung up, and so perhaps that call was to mention that it was indeed Clint Eastwood who play acted in that Republican National Convention. Let's go to our telephones. Our line telephone number is 524-1080. Aloha caller, welcome to the program.
Yeah, regarding the Clint Eastwood thing, the part that he got, really got to everybody was if the person doesn't do his job, it's time to let him go. And for him, he felt like Obama wasn't doing his job. Mm-hmm. That's basically what the message was, that part.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think of this this technique of using an empty seat and then having or pretending to have a conversation with an empty seat, and that whole idea or that approach?
Well,
do you think it's a fair?
The approach was good. They said that the message was that some people feel that the method was not, something like the acting part, was not proper, but the message was there.
Okay.
And empty seat. The professional singers use the empty seat too to sing. To like somebody sitting on a chair and like the guys like singing, like acting the.
Yeah, I understand that. That's purely entertainment. In this case, it's a political discussion or issues, and when one engages in issues, in essence, one is stopping the true voice or pretense that there is another voice and speaking for that voice. It's kind of strange to me. It strikes me as somewhat inappropriate.
Well, it's like Harry Reid's imaginary friends, though.
I'm sorry, it's like what?
Harry Reid's imaginary friends sitting on there, and Harry Reid's talking like he said that Harry, what's his name, Romney never paid taxes, and he said he had it for somebody. Mm-hmm. So same thing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your call. Aloha. And if you would like to call, our telephone number is 524-1080. Aloha caller, welcome to the program.
Hello?
Yes, hello, you're on the air.
I can hardly hear you.
All right.
Anyway, I have a small response to what I just heard. If Obama is to be let go because he didn't do his job, then we have to let go of the members of Congress. They haven't done their job. Prior to 2010, Democrats were in control of Congress, the House.
Yes.
They sent 300 bills in the attempt to fix the economy. And it was all filibustered by the Senate Republicans. 300 bills were all filibustered. Now with the Democratically controlled House by the Republicans and the filibustering in the Senate, no president can get anything done, especially when the Senate Minority Leader O'Connell said that the number one priority is to make Obama a one-term president. And the latest issue of Newsweek magazine covers that story in great detail.
I see.
Concerning all the meetings they had, that they will do absolutely nothing to help Obama save the economy because they want to defeat him in November. So therefore, if Congress is not doing its job, it should be let go.
Mm-hmm. Okay, do you think that... I'm sorry, go ahead.
See, you blame the president for not doing anything, but laws are passed by the Congress, not the president.
Do you think that message is being carried across effectively in the presidential campaign?
I can hardly hear you, I'm sorry.
Okay, how about now? Can you... the question I had was, do you think that message is being carried across effectively in the presidential campaign?
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you. I listened to your response on the radio, but I can't answer your question because I can't hear it.
Okay, well, call back, and I'll continue on this subject. But give me a call back when you can hear it clearly. Okay, thank you. Bye. Aloha. And yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know why. Sometimes things sound okay, and at other times there's a lot of static in the air, or on even my board that I'm operating here. And so I'm trying to make as much adjustments as I can. The question was this idea that it is really the U.S. Congress and it's really the Republicans within the Congress, especially in the Senate, because the Democrats do not have that 60 votes to overcome the filibuster or that roadblock in the Senate, that the Republicans, although a minority in the Senate, have been able to stop legislation that had been coming out of the House with 300 formulas or solutions or bills that were sent to the Senate for adoption. It is the Republicans in the Senate who have been effectively stopping that. So when one claims that Obama and Obama's administration is a no leadership administration, it's not a question of leadership, it's a question of inappropriate ability to follow, and that is in the Republican side. The Republicans are not seeing it as a team effort by this nation in which they should evaluate issues on a issue-by-issue basis, but they are voting in lockstep merely to stop the Obama administration from having a second term. That is their priority, not the economy, not a war in one of these foreign lands or anything else. The priority is to take away the presidency from Barack Obama and from the Democrats, and whatever it takes. This is the mantra that they are walking to. And it seems to me, my question to the last caller was, is that message really getting through in the discussions and the debates, or is the, let's say, the Democratic side of the debate more reactionary to what is being said by the Republican side, or addressing other issues and not making that fact public enough so people can realize that the issue is not merely the election of the president, but the issue is also the election of those in the legislature, those in the House, those in the Senate. If you want a change in policy, the change is to elect more Democrats so that you don't have this kind of blockage by the Republicans. Or if you prefer a change in the other direction, then of course the Republicans need to win to such an extent that they will be an effective force in the legislative bodies. Either that, or have those who are elected in the legislature to step away from this lockstep commitments that they have made, sometimes even before becoming elected, taking a pledge, for example. The pledge, I forget the name of the organizer of that pledge, in which many people in the House and in the Senate were elected on, with a commitment that they would not change the taxing laws. No matter what, they would not increase any taxes, and so they are lockstep in that pledge. Okay, our telephone number here is 524-1080, and you have the opportunity to share your opinions on that matter. Aloha caller, welcome to the program.
Hello, are you
Yes.
talking to me?
Yes, I am. Go
Oh,
ahead.
great. Well, I just wanted to make some comments that, what a travesty for this nation that there are so many ignorant people that don't know lies from truth, and yet they say they are good Christians. And the Republican convention was based purely on lies, beginning to end. And Romney and Ryan are going to try to convince the voters that they are right. But what they are doing really are destroying the a nation because, destroying democracy. Because what they're really encouraging is plutocracy or perhaps oligarchy. And that's no good. But most of the people, as you've noticed today, they're not very educated and well informed. And I even saw a survey or heard a survey where the Republican voter is less informed than the Democratic voter. And that's why they believe those lies. And Medicare is one of the best things that could happen to this nation. And some seniors know about it, but a lot of people in the Deep South and the Midwest, they don't know. They just believe their neighbors or friends or the politicians that they put in office. And this is going to destroy the United States. Because you as a historian know that great civilizations did not collapse from the outside forces. First, you collapse internally due to corruption, greed, whatever, that destroys the nation, and then you become easy prey for other people from the outside then to destroy you. And that's what the Republican Party is doing. And this is why in my old age I've decided to be more outspoken regarding these things. In the past, I just didn't care about politics, but I realize now how important it is to try to convince the voters that they must hear both sides to issues, and they must know the difference between a truth and a lie. Because a lie will destroy, the country. And then I'm amazed that the Republicans have these pastors or ministers, and they also lie. I mean, yes,
Yes, I understand.
It's really shocking what America has become. And this is why I feel that, people should be more broad-minded. And they should learn more and hear more and, fight for the rights. And what the Republicans have been doing is not only just lying, but they have been suppressing the truth or news to go out to the people in various areas, especially those people in the rural areas. And this is why those red states are really the ones with a lot of rural countryside,
I see.
The urban parts usually are Democrats, where there are large cities.
Yes.
Then you may find some Democrats in these large cities because they are perhaps, I'm sure they are more informed, and they apparently know right from wrong.
So what are you saying? Are you saying that whatever it is, because there's so much information, critical thinking, evaluation, perhaps even important discussions, and being able to examine these things, perhaps more important than having a person using either the Bible or using a preacher or using fancy gimmicks to tell a story. The whole essence in the importance of a democratic society is a need for critical analysis. Is that the case?
Yes, true. I think we need to learn that. Even as children, we must learn, critical analysis, because if this doesn't work, then that must. And this is why a lot of times the very well-educated people are into science, and those that are uneducated don't know. And this is why we have all these problems about the women issues. It's due to sheer ignorance of even like agents saying that a woman who is raped cannot get pregnant because the body suppresses or fights off.
Yes.
That's ridiculous. And I was thinking, my goodness, the depth of their ignorance. And these are the kind of, and he got elected, I guess. And these are the kinds of people that are representing the United States Congress. And so, even for Congress too, they do have, well, the Democrats, even when they did have majority, couldn't beat the Republicans because we also had some blue dog Democrats. And you're aware who the blue dogs are, right?
Yes.
Those are the ones that take the Democratic money, but vote Republican once they get in, especially on the main issues like budget, health, and those important things. And apparently a lot of times people, perhaps in the South, because my sister lived in the South, and she says she just votes out with whatever the neighbors say or the friends say, because she's afraid to say that she voted against.
I see.
So, and then another thing that the Republicans are pushing for is hatred. They are promoting hatred, racial hatred, bigotry, and when you have all these negatives, how can you have a great nation?
Yeah.
And a lot of those things they are saying are so wrong. It's almost like a comedy. And, you were asking about Clint Eastwood. That's when I just turned in.
Yeah, okay.
I thought that was obscene. It was ridiculous. I just turned him off. I said, I don't need to listen to him. I never cared for him anyway. And he really didn't have a message. But a lot of the messages that the Republicans are promoting is ignorance, hatred, and, greed. So that, politicians can be bought out. And that's what we're going to have in a plutocracy.
Yeah.
Or even an oligarchy.
Yeah.
And so, in a sense, it's close to sort of like fascism. That's what it really amounts, basically.
Yeah. Okay. I want to thank you for your telephone call. We do have two other callers on the line. We won't have enough time to take both of the calls.
Sure.
But
all
thank you very much for calling.
Much.
Yes, aloha.
For hearing me.
Yes,
Bye.
aloha. And we go to our next caller. Aloha caller, thank you. Just a minute. I'm not getting that line. I've had a problem with line 3. Caller, if you've been on the line waiting for the last 5 to 10 minutes, I'm not able to get you on that line because you are on line 3. If you will call back, we do have one line open. In the meantime, I'm going to go to the next line. I'm sorry for this problem we're having with the telephones. Aloha caller, welcome to the program.
Yesterday, I was watching the convention. They did have minorities coming up on stage.
Yes.
I don't know where she's getting the bigotry from, but there were minorities. Especially Condoleezza Rice was on there. There was a mayor from Utah. Mia, I forgot what her name was, but there were minorities. There were a whole bunch of them telling them from rags to riches.
Were they all the rich minorities?
So, well, not actually rich, but, they got to a position where they're comfortable, like senators and stuff.
Oh, not rich, but just
they got,
high officials in the
but
government.
But then there's some that have made it,
So,
Lisa Race was there too, and,
Rice,
I know she's not white.
Yeah, so what you're saying is that it's not racial bigotry. Maybe the bigotry is more towards class?
Now, in class, what this belief is that you can make it, and, you need a hand up, not a hand out. Basically, that's what the message is.
I see. Okay.
That's basically the message everyone want to press is you need a hand up, not a hand out. Because, right now,
and do you think
right now I was told, according to somebody, half the country is not paying taxes.
Do you think there's enough room at the top so that anyone who has a hand up, there's enough room up there to make room for
you have something somebody wants, you could make it. Ford, remember those guys, Forbes, Bill Gates, those started from a garage.
Yeah. So those are the exceptions, Joe. What about creating a wider space for the middle income or for the middle class? Do you think the Republicans stand for that as well, or it's just the one percenters?
There's an opportunity. Is that the thing is like
I know, but you're not answering.
You cannot make it without government.
Yeah, you're not answering the question. I'm asking, what about the middle class? Is there enough room so that people can live? Okay. We don't have enough time to really get into or any further into this discussion. So we'll be back and we can continue with this discussion.
Kaulana pua o Hawaii Kupa ama hope o ka aina Iki mai ka elele o ka loko ino Pala pala anunu me ka paka Pane mai Hawaii moku o ke ave Koku ana honoa o Pi'ilani Ka ko'o mai kaua I o mano Pa'aku me ke one o ka kuhi hewa Aolea e kau I ka pulima Maluna o ka pepa o ka enemi Ho'ohui ai nā ku ai hewa I ka pono sivila a o ke kanaka